All right, so are we going to tell the truth about these AEW signings? I just want to know if we're going to tell the truth. Let me say this. I can see both sides of the field on this, but I'm here to tell you the truth. And by God, some people just aren't. The way that I've been coming across on this channel lately through these videos, I could tell some people probably won't like me, but truth is the truth and the truth hurts. AEW, I guess by reports, I didn't really do any deep dive or read into this, but it seems as though AEW may have signed Mercedes Mone, which is Sasha Banks, and Okada. And on paper, I say those are beautiful, beautiful pickups, along with Will Ospreay, who I'm guessing he just finished up in Japan and he's going to be getting over there as soon as possible, right? So you got three great signings. And that's good. That's good. You managed to get him away from WWE. That's also good. But the way that social media is attacking this is just, it's asinine. It's stupid. It's really like, sometimes I have to think back. Maybe I need to go back and watch some of my old content and see if I thought this way back when I would get fanboyish or happy or excited over some of the things that was happening in wrestling. I'm like, I couldn't have been this brain dead. Like I couldn't have been this biased. Like, right? So let's talk about it, because it's really getting under my skin. Things that get under my skin is people that don't think logically. You know, AEW has given you a plethora of examples of what they do with talent coming in. Before we go to talent coming in, I always do that, right? Like, I'll lead you right to where I want to go, but then I just get sidetracked with something. But whatever happened to AEW being the place where they specialize in their homegrown talent and their four pillars, etc., etc.? We're gonna make these guys here. What happened there? Was that a lie? Was I lied to? Was I lied to? Did the Young Bucks lie to me? Like, did the IWC lie to me? What happened to this homegrown talent that you just don't even hear of? Where's Anthony Ogogo? Can somebody tell me where? I haven't heard the name Anthony Ogogo. I don't know when the last time I've heard of Anthony Ogogo. It's probably been some years. Is he still there? Where's my guy Sonny Kiss? Where is he? What about my dude that was in NXT that kind of looked like Brock Lesnar a little bit before he scalped himself, just cut off all his hair, and then he went to AEW and they wanted to give him a... What happened here? Now, granted, he wasn't a homegrown, he was in AEW. I mean, he was in NXT first, but still, you got him while he was young and undeveloped. Do something with the guy. What happened? There's a bunch of other people that you can name that was supposed to be homegrown talent, and it's like you just don't hear about them anymore. I mean, Darby, yeah, sure, Darby works. Darby might be the biggest. Well, he was in the MLW too, so you gotta lump MJF in there as well. Him and MJF are the standouts of the young talent that they've had in there since the start. Other than that, anybody else that's been homegrown, like, I don't hear about them. Nothing at all. I'm not throwing Ricky Starks in there because Ricky Starks, he's made his way around the circuit before he got to AEW. The Jack Perry kid, come on. Who's the other pillar that they had? Who are their pillars? I don't know. Sammy Guevara. All right, so let's get back on track, right? These signings. So the thing that everybody is harping over right now on the internet is how big of a name that these signings are and how WWE and Triple H just couldn't sign another free agent. Hey, 100% right? But we got to have a conversation about why that is. We got to have this conversation. Because one, while AEW is signing these talents, And they're also signing talents that have come from WWE that were stars there that no longer are because they're a little long in the tooth. They go over to AEW and do what? Because we have a guy like Edge who goes out there, he only runs to one side of the ring ramp now because he doesn't want to go to the other side because he knows no one is over there. like these guys who have come in that were supposed to be big names, they're not, people are saying this, but they're just not moving the needle. No one's really coming in to see them. Ticket sales are just getting lower and lower. Ratings are just getting lower and lower. So how many times are people going to say, hey, we signed these big names, we up next, it's our time, and nothing happens? Like, things are declining. Why do they, can somebody, you that's watching this, if you're an AEW guy, look, I'm not shooting at you. I just want to explain to me the hopeism that you guys have. Explain to me why I think this way when it's not as if AEW is still a startup company. It's been around for some years now. Are we getting the fruits of the labor? Why are we going backwards? I swear, I lived through the entire run of WCW. Everything that WCW did, AEW is doing today. It's like the writing is on the wall. It's like, what? Do we not see the exact same mistakes that AEW is making that WCW made? It's like WCW walked or crawled so that AEW can walk. But they're running in the same exact direction that they ran into, which was a complete wall. And it's so obvious. Every mistake that they did is obvious that they're doing the same thing. Here's the thing. AEW's bringing in talent. They're not moving the needle. But it's not only that. They're not being featured, in my opinion, correctly. They're not being made stars or bigger stars. Or you'll have a guy like Jay White. Come on, how you fumble Jay White? Really? You brought in a guy like an Ospreay, and you brought in a guy like an Okada before when you had him on, some spot shows. Or you had Murder Grandpa. You had Suzuki. You bring Suzuki in and no one cares anymore. You bring in Ishii, no one cares. They bring these people in and it's not like, they're not treated like anything special. They're just treated like a pop. They're just a pop. That's all they get is a pop. A pop. And that's it. Everything else just goes to the wayside. Why are we doing this? When ROH was a company on its own and they brought in guys from Japan, they treated them special. Whatever match they had, it was an attraction match. It would probably main event. It was a big deal. Big deal. But now when they come over to AEW, it just seems, and I'm not talking about after them getting signed. I'm talking about before they were signed and they just came and did the shows. It just felt like they were just another guy. Will Ospreay managed to stand out a little bit because they used Will Ospreay to, the story that he had with Omega stemmed from what they had in Japan. They brought it over to AEW and then they brought it back to Japan. It was going back and forth. It was even with all of these little things that they do with Japan, the business that they do with Japan, that one thing was the closest thing that they had to even business as you can possibly get. That was balanced business. Other than that, AEW is going over 9 times out of 10. We gonna lay on you and you gonna stand there and like it. How do you get a guy like a Daniel Bryan or a Bryan Danielson and not make him a... I get frustrated when I think of Bryan Danielson because everybody knows how big of a star he can be and how much he can take that company to the next level. Yet, and this is probably Bryan's fault himself, yet they just have him doing matches against random guys and stories that don't really do nothing for the bigger picture. You got the BCC, is it BCC or BBC? Whatever the B's and the C's are, the Bloods and the Crips. You got them. When they first got together, they were supposed to be a huge deal, and now they just eater of pins. They're Bray Wyatt. All of this talent that you have, what are you doing with them? I saw a tweet that said AEW is signing all of the free agents while WWE can't get anybody. And I'm like, wait, time out. Isn't this the same company that From You got Jade, who they're making? Jade is more of a star now than she ever was in AEW, and she's appeared on TV. She's appeared in the ring in the match once and made several appearances just showing her face, and she's already a bigger star today than she was in AEW. Ain't even have to do nothing. Got Jade from you, which was your biggest star in your women's division. Got Cody from you. Cody was an exec. And then we got CM Punk, your biggest ratings draw. Let me not say we. I don't work for anybody. But WWE managed to get CM Punk out of this deal, which was your biggest ratings getter. Came on, make a splash, and now WWE is getting even bigger ratings. He's a bigger deal in WWE. Like, what are we talking about when we have these conversations, yo? This is frustrating. It's frustrating how people look at the situation and just don't look at it from both sides. Like, okay, you signed Okada, amazing. You signed Mone, amazing. You got Ospreay, amazing. Happy for you. Seriously, not being sarcastic. But let's not go acting like they're about to make this big splash and everything's about to turn around. And history has shown you that that's not what's happening in AEW. It's not. Until they start proving otherwise, everybody needs to start looking at them skeptically, because you keep giving them the benefit of the doubt. Tony Gonzalez, Tony Khan is just taking all of this lust that you guys are getting for the freaking mark pop and running with it and not planning anything for these people. He doesn't plan shit. I seen people also tweet about Andrade. Oh, Andrade's been back. He's been back for a couple of weeks, and all he did was put him in the Royal Rumble. Yeah, because they got him as soon as he left the company. You don't have plans for him. Isn't this the same company that said, hey, man, we're getting real tired of you throwing guys on TV and you don't got plans for them? So now you don't put him on TV because you don't have plans for him, even though you know that he can be a big star. When you already had him, you were making him into a star. We don't have plans for you right now, but let's put you right here. Let's get you back in better shape because you look a little flabby. We're going to get you back right. We're going to make some plans for you because now our Hispanics and Latin talent is flourishing. We're going out to Puerto Rico. We're making all of the runs, and we're going to need you in place when we get on that circuit. We need to make sure that you're prominent and you're prominently featured. Let's write something up for you. Let's make plans for you before we just throw you out there. We look at that as they fumbled with Andrade, the same Andrade that couldn't get any TV time in AEW. Are you what? How do y'all think? It's times like that where I say, yo, I am ashamed of being a wrestling fan, because like people see the way I talk and the way I think and the way I react to stuff, and it's like, yo, shut the fuck up sometime. Go out there and get some, like touch grass. Because it's real embarrassing how y'all come off. Really embarrassing. Be happy for who you have and put pressure on Tony Khan to do the right thing by the talent that he's getting and that he has, and find out what the fuck happened to those ghosts that were supposed to be your homegrown talent, because they have disappeared.